Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I try to help people where I can. I have a user that's asking, they're having an issue getting their harvester started with the corn header, and I wanted to see if I could help. So I'm going to go over some of the basics tonight of just operating a harvester, and this is going to work for all versions tonight. We're not looking at any modifications. So if you're an Xbox 360 user or a PlayStation user or a computer user that doesn't have any mods, this is going to hold true for you. Tonight we're taking a look. This is the New Holland TC590 harvester, and we're using the corn header that goes with it. But this holds true for any of the corn headers in the game except for the smallest one. The smallest one does not need to be unfolded, but this one does. So in order to make the header more mobile so you can travel around with it and not crash into trees and stuff, they fold it up for you. However, when you get to the field, you want to expand it out. So when you first start the harvester, I'm going to go from that. Like we're just hopped in. Usually when the game starts, it gives you an unattached header. When you drive up to it, I want you to watch down by my speedometer down by the speedometer there in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see the picture of the tractor. It's like a white tractor down on the bottom there. Now watch what happens when I pick the header up. You can see it has a grayish kind of square with a rounded edge in the front. If I press my select button on my joystick, and I think it's also the G key on the keyboard for those of you that are PC users, your select button will make it so that that little block gets highlighted. So you can see there down on the bottom right hand by the speedometer, you can see it changing. Right now I have the header selected. Now I have the harvester selected. I have to unfold both of these before I start operation. So the first thing I do is I unfold the header by doing on the Xbox joystick. And for those of you that are playing on the keyboard, I think it's something different, but on the keyboard it's going to be X. Okay, for those of us that are using the Xbox joystick, you hold down the left bumper or left shoulder button. Okay, not the brake, but the left shoulder button, and then you press the X button. Right? I'm sorry, no, take that back. The A button, the very bottom green button that says A. That is going to unfold your header. So once again, left bumper A unfolds the header. That is the default setting. Then you have to press your select button and select the harvester. Now, for the harvester to work, we have to open up the storage bin. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the left bumper once again and press A. You'll notice up on top that bin opens. What this does is it allows us to load or overload the harvester. It gives us a little bit more capacity. Now, before we start, I wanted to show you this big harvester, and you can see where it's going to make a difference, okay? When I unfold this harvester, see these plates open up? Look how much more space you get, and it'll fill all of that almost up to the top with grain. So not only will the bin inside the harvester get filled up, but also this extra area here with that bin on top, that gets filled up. So it lets the harvester run for a bit longer as it runs. So I wanted you to see this harvester in particular because it has that big fold feature. Some of these other smaller ones, you don't really notice. We'll hop into this guy. Here's another small one, right? Watch the top, the gray part. Boop. Ready to operate. Now if I close this, the harvester will not operate. So if this top hatch is closed, that won't function. You will not be able to run the harvester. So the next thing that you want to do, we want to turn the harvester on. So now that it's all unfolded, I don't know why I'm dribbling my speech tonight. I'm going to hold the left bumper down and press the X button. So if you are a non-Xbox user, you're going to activate it, and it's a little different on mine because I have some mods installed, but basically it's going to be the B key on the keyboard if you're a computer user. For me, it's left bumper X, okay, and that's for Xbox users. PlayStation users, I think, are going to be the same thing, though they might call the buttons differently. It should be your left bumper or left, that trigger on the left side, shoulder button, whatever you want to call it. Now, you can operate this manually by pressing the gas, moving forward, and it'll start chopping up the corn. Or you can hire a worker. Now, for the PC version, hired worker is H. It makes sense, right? On the Xbox, I'm not sure what the button is because I changed it on mine. On mine, I have it set to the B button, but for most people, that's not going to be the case. So my harvester runs with the B button, but most people are probably going to have a different button. So you're probably going to have to look at your instructions to see what the higher worker button is. But you can also do it manually. And one last thing about using the corn header or any of the headers, you have to make sure the crop is ready. If the harvester turns on but nothing happens, that's because the crop is not ready to be harvested yet. And you can see here this is what the default corn looks like for you Xbox and PS2 or PS4 users. I'm sorry, not PS2. And then also for the PC users that are not using mods, this is what corn that is ready to be harvested looks like. If it's green, it's not ready. So once it turns brown, then you're ready to harvest. But the green stuff is not ready to harvest. Same with our crops. We have, I think, barley, wheat, and then canola. Yeah, canola. Oh, there's corn over here, too. I missed that. And barley, wheat, and canola all turn brown when they're ready, but they look different colors, mostly green when they're growing. But as soon as they look like this, you're ready to harvest. Now, the harvester headers for the first 2 or 3 levels, the Comia, the first New Holland grain header, if you look in the store, the case header, this 18-foot New Holland, the 41-foot New Holland, none of these headers need to be unfolded. So it's just the corn headers that need to be unfolded, okay? And this little Quasar corn header does not need to be unfolded either, but the larger ones, all of them, including this one, need to be unfolded. The wheat headers do not, so you're just going to unfold the harvester. You're going to attach it and then unfold the harvester, and I'll show you that too. But these 2 drapers, the really big ones that are for the largest cased and the largest New Holland harvesters, have retractable landing gear, retractable wheels that need to be folded up once you attach them to the harvester. But they have, it's kind of like a built-in trailer. You don't have to get a trailer for these. They can just attach right up and then fold up. So we won't look at those tonight, but just so you know, these do have wheels that retract. So you unfold the wheels and then attach it to the back of the harvester and drag it around. And then when you're ready to harvest, you attach this to the front and you fold the wheels up and it's ready to go. But most of the wheat headers, the smaller ones, don't have to have that happening. So same thing with our Roslamash. Neither of these headers need to be unfolded. So if we were to come into the game, this is most of the maps have this harvester as your starter. Though Sosnovka, if you have the gold edition, has the Roslamash with the larger header. But you're going to start with it disconnected. You're going to come up and you're going to connect. And then you're just going to press the left bumper and the X key. I'm sorry. X key. A key, I mean A. Sorry. I don't know why I keep saying A. I'm going to have to do this whole thing over again. I keep saying the wrong word. It's the A key, guys, not the X key, okay? It's left bumper X to get it to work, but left bumper A folds and unfolds. So, same thing. So I'm going to bring that lid up, and this guy is ready to harvest. I can turn the unit on and begin harvesting. That's simple. Now, you will notice that with wheat and also with barley, you get a byproduct, and that is straw, okay? Straw, you can bundle it up and sell it. If you're playing on hard, it's not worth very much, but it's still some income. A large field will give you $10,000 to $20,000. You know, if you have a really big field and get 40 or 50 bales out of it, you can get some money for it. But if it's a smaller field, you can also chaff this using a forage harvester and sell it. Turn it into silage and. There's a whole, and you can also feed it to your cows if you have cows that need bedding and food. So there's many different things you can do with the hay. With the straw. It gives you some additional options. It's not just the wheat that you're getting, but you're also getting straw out the back. It's a free byproduct. The other thing, though, if you don't want to have the straw or clean it up, you can press on mine, it's the comma key. I'm not sure what it is on the Xbox. I apologize. I still use the keyboard for this, but I turn it off, and it goes into spray mode, and it just sprays the chaff all over the straw. It chews it up and spits it out and spreads it all over the field, leaving nothing behind for you to collect. But if you don't care and you're not really into collecting the straw, or you don't have any cows, or you don't want to, go through the effort of trying to pick it up and collect it and sell it, or you don't have the money to get the equipment, because let's face it, the baler setup is $100,000 minimum. So if you don't have any of the baling equipment, then you can just leave it off. But it's easy to turn back on and off. So let's take a look over here at the corn header. We're going to go ahead and hire the worker, let him do his thing. I'm going to hop out. Now you'll notice here on the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see your fill level. Okay, you can see here it's at 300 right now, and it's going up on the bottom right. It shows you what type of harvest you're collecting. That is corn. It also shows you how full it is. So if we come back in 5 minutes or so, this guy is going to be full. All right. Now, if I'm running it myself, I can monitor it as I run. You can also notice if you want to see it visually, you can look into the hopper and see that it's actually filling up. And as we watch here, this is going to get fuller. We'll come back in a sec. We'll hire this guy too and get him going. This guy being small will fill up a lot faster. You can see here already how much fuller he is. So we've hired our worker. I'm just along for the ride. And you can see here my hopper is filling up. If you watch that grain in the back there, it's a fountain of grain. Pretty neat stuff. So if you don't want to watch your percentage, you can just let it go. Now, at 80%, the driver is going to signal you that he's full. And you're going to need to bring your tractor with a trailer and empty this out so that he can continue on harvesting, okay? And if you're doing it manually, you can just, run over to your trailer and dump it out. But and one thing to keep in mind with this Komiya, the starter harvester, this pipe is really, really low. So you can only use this tipper, the Brantner, the E8041, or the HKD 302. These are the only two tippers that you can use with this little Komiya harvester. That'll work well, unless you can find a big hump that you can get this guy up on top of. And then you can, dump that out over the edge into his bin. But it's a very low pipe. Now watch here oh no, it's weird. Oh no, because I'm driving. Watch. So if I turn on the driver, wait a minute. Why didn't he? What? Hold on. We'll go over to the corn one. That's because I was messing around. He's still filling up, so we'll be right back. All right, so I'm bringing out the case with my AgriLiner trailer, and we are going to unload this guy. All you do is pull up next to him. Now the worker is gone because I screwed things up, so my worker disappeared. So I'm just gonna, I hate when it does that. I'm going to hop into the Komiya and unfold the pipe. On mine, it's left bumper Y. That's probably what it's going to be on yours too. And you can see he's offloading the hopper into our tractor. Meanwhile, back on the farm, this guy's at 53, so we'll come back in a little bit. I don't know why I have that truck out there. So we're going to hop back into this guy. Once he's done, we're going to rehire the worker. Now, normally you wouldn't have to do this. Normally, the worker is going to do what I'm going to show you with the corn guy. But maybe we can just do this one. He probably will fill up faster anyway, honestly. So I have not hired a worker. There we go, hired worker. Now, I do have a mod on my hired worker, but it's similar. It makes his pattern a little bit different. In fact, we're gonna see. We're gonna make this go back and forth. So it looks like it normally does. How's this guy doing? 61%. So we're not there yet. The weedables fill up faster, but at 80%, this is the automated pilot driving right now, and at 80%, you're going to see something happen magical. It's magical. Here it goes. 80%. Yes. The hired worker will put out the pipe and start flashing the light so that you know he's getting full. So if you're off, let's say in this tractor, and you're looking, actually this won't work because I can't pull the corn from him, but let's get another trailer. Let's make this a full thing. All right, so I've driven away. We're pretending like this is the corn guy, but it's not really. And in real life, you wouldn't want to run your crops over. In real life, the harvester would actually back up. So you can see this guy is full, so you can pull up next to him, set your speedometer to 10 miles per hour, holding, I believe, the down joystick on the Xbox. Oh, and I missed it. I wasn't fast enough, so he's stopped. The driver will stop when he reaches 100%. And it happens, So I'm going to pull up next to him. And see that? He's offloading. And once he's empty, he'll start driving again. So we'll let this guy offload. What I was going to show you, too. You can set your cruise control to 10% up, or I think down joystick makes it go down or up. I don't know. Try it on your left joystick. Try it. See what it does on your Xbox. But you should be able to control that cruise control. And how you can tell, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see my little speedometer symbol on the very bottom, the white one. And you can see where I'm pushing the joystick up and down, the numbers change, right? See that? Set it to 10, okay? 10 miles per hour, 10 kilometers an hour. And then you're going to run underneath him, and you're going to enable the cruise control. I don't know what the joystick button is for the Xbox. I apologize. It's different than what it is on the PC. So, but you can run alongside him at 10 miles an hour and collect for him while he's, he just will unload into your tractors. That's another way to unload the harvester and keep him going so that he doesn't stop. So anyway, that is basic harvester operation. It's pretty simple stuff. It's not rocket science. This guy has stopped now because he's full. He's waiting for a truck to come unload him. And so I hope that solved your guys' problem. If you're having an issue, you can always leave a comment here and I'll try to help you. But that's pretty much the general harvesting and what needs to be done. So just once again, make sure your crops are ready. Make sure that not only the header is unfolded, but also the harvester is unfolded. And then you should be good to go. You should be able to turn the harvester on at that point. And if the fields are not ready, they won't work. So the harvester will run, but nothing will get collected. If you're trying to hire a worker, he'll run a couple feet and then turn it back off again. So anyway, hope that helps, guys. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the farm.